Hey guys, Richard at Ryden's room here, although not in my room, well, in my bedroom, but I'm room with my Star Wars books, which is still downstairs. I'm trying to get the right angle because that light. There we go. So, yeah, this is my review. It's going to be a pretty short one for book 3 of the Black Fleet Crisis, Tyrant's Nest. And then on to something totally different, which is this one. So I'll go back to this in a moment. So, anyway, on to this, the ending for the trilogy. So I read this earlier. Finished it at work, New Year's Day shift, nice and quiet, which is quite handy because it let me start my next Warhammer book, which is the big one. Yeah, so this is pretty much the end of the last batch I bought of all the Bantamira ones, from the Bounty Hunter Wars, all the Tales of books, etc., and this as well. And yeah, massively disappointed. Book 1 was actually really good. My review said I couldn't praise that one enough. Book 2 was just so boring and nothing happening. I skimmed for most of it, and basically the same sort of thing happened to me again. I still didn't get the appeal of the book, to be honest. I know some people like it for the politics, some people don't like it for the politics because of too much of that, not enough war, etc. And yeah, massive letdown. No, Chewbacca got some stuff too, which is absolutely sweet. He's there at the front. He actually got the first chapter. We're helping his son, or observing his son, take his rite of passage on Kashyyyk, which was awesome. Then we get Luke, who continues his quest to find out more about his mother. And again, this is well before the prequel trilogy, so it wasn't Padme Amidala back here. It was apparently a woman from the... I never pronounced this right. Falinasi called Nashara. And yeah, basically it was all... It doesn't go anywhere. And you get Leia's story, where she's basically declaring war on the Vethans. And that's kind of all that she does. Not a huge amount happens. She's dealing with a vote of no confidence, etc. Then she just declares war. Everyone cheers her on, and then you get Han, who's been imprisoned and beaten quite badly to a pulp on the Vethan ship by Nil Spar, their leader. So yeah, for my description of each of the characters, that sounded pretty good. Oh, and Lando is still with the droid and Lobot on the ship. And yeah, again, Lando's section falls massively short. Again, such a shame, since we've got our UK F1 racer called Lando winning things now. Just weird timing to get a book about Lando, because in fact I've got the Lando Adventures coming up, actually in here, and he's a huge part of it. Definitely a good chunk of it's his story, but yeah, it's definitely the weakest one after, again, a really promising start in book 1. Yeah, it just fell apart. I just was not interested in his story whatsoever. Chewbacca's was great. He has to leave Kashyyyk when he finds out that Han's a prisoner, takes his son and several other Wookiees with him. There's some really good action. Yeah, that's probably the best part of the story, because it's just absolutely great watching Chewbacca and his son and friends mow down hordes of troops. Yeah, there's a loss, but his son, he passes his initiation, which is great. You don't see too much of him after that, from what I remember. Han, he's basically just imprisoned. Forced to watch his friend get his throat slit open, which would be gruesome, and a bit of swearing in it, where he calls the guy does it bastard, which is really cool. It's quite tame swearing. It's even by 1997 standards, it's still cool to get that in there, because yeah, it's a very natural reaction, and I can't see that being a problem for a kids' range of books. All ages. So yeah, that's fine. There's a sexual line in there. It seems a bit odd. Seems to come out of nowhere a bit. So yeah, that was a bit odd for that part to come in with the woman Luke's working with. And speaking of Luke, my God, what a waste. So yeah, he's a big part of the ending. The person he's with is able to project entire illusions, and that's basically how they defeat the Vethans. They make basically the illusion of a huge New Republic fleet, far bigger than what they've actually got, and the Vethans effectively surrender. Which was, some of them have some sense to see how huge it is. And yeah, we're seeing Luke's powers, or what he's the people he's working with, what they can do. He's learning a bit of stuff. And like I said in Bruce's book, the Fate of the Jedi books, you see Luke going to these people's planet, which is pretty cool. I skimmed through, actually, because I've still got a few of them, and there's no mention of the woman, but maybe that was just forgotten about by Troy Deng or whoever wrote the particular book. No, I think it was book 2, Christine Golden, who of course had done the research. Maybe she'd read this one, but yeah, no mention of that person, but this was decades after. So we got that. So yeah, although Luke's plot seemed quite slow, it did tie into the ending, which was a good thing. It's just his plot really went nowhere. It turns out she didn't know who Luke's mother was at all. She just gives things she says about her. After all, Luke's kind of depressed, but like Leia said in book 1, she had no interest in finding out about her birth parent. She's interested focus on looking forward, and Luke seems to agree. And then he's going to be crazy Uncle Luke to his niece and nephews, a la crazy Uncle Ben. So that's kind of cool. Well, Uncle Owen rather, not Uncle Ben. Cranky Uncle Owen, perhaps. And then yeah, that's it for the main characters. So there's some good action scenes, sequences well for people involved, but I just thought overall it's just a massive letdown. Thought could have been so much better than it really was. It's interesting that the Ethans are just gone after this. I don't think they even get mentioned in the Yuuzhan Vong War. That's how forgotten about they are. They're very monstrous. Like they have to be defeated because they. I bet Yuuzhan Vong actually could know their love of like sacrifice and death and all sorts of stuff, but yeah, they're not that memorable overall, only because of how quickly they are to surrender. Although I did like that or retreat rather. I did like though how Nilsbar gets betrayed by his like right hand man. I mean, the odds are massively against the Yavithans. Also, they think he still plans to fight anyway, and he just gets betrayed, and then basically is shot into hyperspace too, as his right hand man puts it. I don't know how long you'll survive, but you will die. And yeah, that did feel good after all the things Nilsbar had done. So yeah, that's the end of book 3. And overall, read it if you want to kind of fill in the blanks. Everyone has different tastes after all, and this is still a big part of the EU. You'll see in the timeline bit, the Black Fleet crisis. With that, I'm pretty much done all the way now up to the entire EU timeline. I mean, the books I've got are older ones. It's the Han Adventures and the Lando Adventures, the ones that are written years before this, that are like set a bit in the past. Then I've got the what people call the best Han Solo trilogy, with the AC Crispin one, which goes into past more, but the important things, like I imagine him being Chewbacca is one of them. Him joining the Imperial Army just to learn how to be a pilot, to go fly ships, shoot from ships, etc. I've got that coming. I also picked up Scoundrels by Tim Fizan. I figured I'd read that bit after the Han and Lando Adventures done, but before the Han Solo trilogy. God, it's confusing. You've got 2 trilogies, but one is officially the trilogy. And that's got a prequel in, and that's actually it for the Star Wars books, unless I go back to a reread. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to finally pick up those Clone Wars era books I've never read, which some people say are not that great, like Jedi Trial and the Cestus Deception. Then there's still plenty more in this era. Scourge is one that popped up in someone I follow online, Instagram. No, sorry, YouTube. Someone who may be watching this vid. I hope so for you will. What else is there? Yeah, there's those other books around the whole Fate of the Jedi, Legacy of the Force era. There's a couple of them I didn't read. Then there's ones like The Last Jedi. Not that, if you know what I'm thinking. Yeah, so there's a few of those. In terms of the ones, unless I've reread, I don't know, Darth Bane trilogy or something like that again, yeah, I'm actually out of new ones. I suppose there's the Disney canon books like Brotherhood to pick up. Luckily, my library has a lot of those. But in terms of this era, that's kind of it. Although it could be a while till I get further, because alongside the Han and Lando trilogy, so you've got my Warhammer books there. I'm finally reading the very big ones, like ones that got loads of stories in. I'm splitting them into a third, so they'll go somewhat alongside the adventures ones. So yeah, it'll be a while till I need any future ones. But that's kind of it for this era, which I'm kind of pleased about. But yeah, not the best send off, but it's not no send off. Still plenty more books to read just for this style books. I'm done for now. But yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed the vid, and I'll actually have a future vid prepared soon. Basically, be my top Star Wars books of the year. I suppose I have to actually get them because my top ones. No, hang on. No, what was I about? Top ones of the year, or rather the ones I've read this year and the top ones of those. No, most of those will be gone. Oh well, I'll put them together. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this vid. And one thing first. So yeah, this is my next read. I thought I should bring this up because I don't know if anyone was a fan of Hollyoaks in the early 2000s. I won't say what happens. I'm not sure what usual rules are, but let's say it's Hollyoaks' most famous storyline, what happened to the character Luke Morgan in 2000. This is his diary. It's as if he wrote this, his thoughts, which obviously is written by an author, Caddy Benyon, but yeah, it's like him writing down the things for what happens in his attack. And anyone who remembers the storyline will remember how amazingly done it was. There are still clips of it on YouTube because it was the first ever late night Hollyoaks storyline, and my god, it earned it. Yeah, and the story's so popular, they've used it again, although nowhere near as successfully. But even recently, but hey, the story's not over yet. We'll see. But yeah, I picked this up I'm certain my mum bought this for me years and years ago, and it was the recent Hollyoaks story, which, as they said on its anniversary, you say revisited this, but it didn't. It's more just used the same storyline, but in completely different circumstances again. And I thought, yeah, I remember this book. Let's pick it up. And there's actually another one, Luke's Journal, A New Beginning, which I never read. I bought them both together. And yeah, this is going to be fun to read. I've had a bit of a skim, but while my big Warhammer book is at work, because that's the book. I always leave the sleeves here because I don't want to damage them. It's basically the size of the top one. So while that's at work, I fancy bringing it back home every day and be potentially damaging it, or just the weight of that book That's going to get split ripped if I put that there. There you go. The weight of it banging my back while cycling. That's going to be no fun. So I need something small. I started Pokemon Emerald up recently, which is going to be great fun again. I only played that in 2012, and I've got a feeling that's the first time I ever played it, but I never completed it. Maybe I just had played Sapphire or Ruby too recently. I wasn't bothered, or I was on... Oh no, that was in that phase when I was off Pokemon between Black 1 putting me off the series in 2011 till I went back to it in Black 2 in 2014. Yeah, 2012, I guess it just hit my liking for Emerald. But started that last night, going to read it. But main thing is, while that Warhammer book's at work, I need something else to read. This will be my next one. I'm basically just reading a bunch of these smaller books I've got at home. And yeah, Pokemon Emerald and also those eventually. Hope you saw those. Those are the Witcher books. But yeah, that is it. Hope you enjoyed the vid. Most of this was nothing to do with the Star Wars book. But hey, this is what I do. I ramble on about all sorts of random things and hope you guys enjoy it. And I think my subscriber list is some numbers are going up. So over 60 now. And I did say all those years ago, if I got to 100, I'd start doing some sort of better videos like editing for a PC or laptop, etc. So I haven't forgotten. It was years and years ago. And hey, if I get to 100, I will start doing a bit more effort, maybe even patching up some old vids. We'll see. But hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time.